What happens when you let enfant terrible, now just terrible, Daniel Nardicio off his leash to say and do whatever he wants? The man who has offended everyone is back.
Along with my brother from another mother, Adam Klesch, we're back with our latest creation, Trigger Warning, a podcast that is not for the faint of heart.
Prepare to be offended, enlightened, and highly entertained.
Trigger Warning is not a safe space podcast, but answers the questions no one wants to ask. Served steep in vodka and a dash of bitter.
Each week, we'll bring you the highest and lowest in NYC nightlife.
So buckle up. You've been warned.
Let's just get this fucker started. All right, great. AC's off.
AC's off. Here for another sweltering episode of Trigger Warning.
Here we are on Fire Island, live on Fire Island. It's very exciting. Adam, how you doing?
Good. I love it out here.
Do you really?
Yeah, just back from Berlin, but it's a really nice place to land coming from there.
How was Berlin?
It was incredible. I was actually an hour and a half outside of Berlin at a place called Fairopolis.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's where they do a bunch of like music festivals.
Not Buxtehude?
Not Buxtehude.
Buxtehude is one of my favorite towns in Germany. Just saying it. When people say, wo kommst du denn her? Buxtehude?
Buxtehude?
Which is like the stupidest name. Buxtehude.
Kennst du Buxtehude?
Kennst du Buxtehude? Ja.
Nee.
Von der Hochschule, Buxtehude Hochschule.
Ich weiß die Schule in Buxtehude. Ja, genau.
For our German listeners. That means I come from the Buxtehude High School. Anyway, enough about German.
There were a lot of back five Gesichten there, though.
Yeah?
Yeah. Oof. A lot of people not sure of, like even if it's for a weekend, festival living is really a kind of thing. Like you have to be prepared.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of people that, had their like neon harnesses and a, pack of crackers, which isn't going to get you 3 days.
I just don't get festivals. I just don't get like fucking Glastonbury when people are like, you had to wear your mud boots. I'm like, first of all, you always can watch it online. And you're like, I was sitting at home eating bonbons, watching it where they're like trudging through mud. Everything feels every one of these festivals I hear about. Like Coachella's, like the fucking Fire Festival. They're like, you got.
But you love a scarf over an incandescent, put your rollers in and sip your tea.
I'm a white woman through and through. I am a white woman.
Do come in.
I don't. The only thing I make is reservations. Isn't that an old Joan Rivers? No, I actually do cook a lot. But
I love it out there. I love a little sterno fire. Make my coffee in the morning.
Remotely interesting to me whatsoever. I can't stand it. I did go to the other night to. Oh, speaking of a white woman experience, I'm sure I'm going to get excoriated for that. The other night I went to see the Scissor Sisters at Madison Square Garden with.
Is that full stop? That's your white woman experience?
No, get ready for this. I went and Kesha was performing with them, so it was like a double bill. The show was okay. It was really kind of low budge, and I'd heard that this was like their big show at Madison Square Garden, and they had like a blow up set of scissors on stage that kind of deflated before they got out there. I would have fucking fired. It was like. I can only, well, anyway. I
would have been concerned it was my acid.
It needed Amy Phillips, that rotted human being who used to, I don't even know what she did, manage them. I don't know what she did. She's just such a rotten human being. Anyway, Amy Phillips supposedly was creative director, but everyone was running around on stage. Jake's voice sounded incredible. His look was incredible. Ambi dressed Lambert Martin, who's sounded incredible, but looked like she was coming out of a Sophie B. Hawkins video. It was very sort of like, damn, I wish I was your woman. Like, I don't know. Then you had Bridget Barkin, who was in this hot, really sexy, like hooker Storyville, New Orleans outfit. She looked incredible. It was a good show. It was fine and stuff, but I missed Anna Matronik.
Yeah.
And I know there's a story there, and I kind of know from both sides the story between them. I'm not going to go into it because it's not my place. But, Anna obviously did not tour with them. And you would kind of think like, oh, well, Anna's not a great singer in the sense of a traditional singer, but she's a great performance artist.
Yeah,
she's a very big performance artist. And she was sorely missed because Bridget, for all of her vocal, acoustics and gymnastics, she's incredible, but she was doing a lot. And it was a very little bit like sew, a needle fooling thread. She was like sewing with her hand and, blah, blah. She did a lot of movement and stuff. And Anna just really
pantomiming?
Pantomiming or miming or something. Yes, Yeah, pantomime. She did a lot of movement, and I kind of missed Anna's Anna,
which is really funny
on
the stage of Madison Square Garden, like pantomiming.
While Amber was like running around on stage behind her. It needed someone to direct it. That's my only critique, is that it needs someone to direct it. But I've worked with them. I mean, obviously,
I think it needed a couples counselor first, and then a director.
Then Kesha came out, and her tech was beyond. It was really great, but she came out with and it. All I could say is she sounded good. You know, I don't know this woman from Eve. I don't know anything about Kesha. I mean, I know a lot of her songs because you can't. I mean, if you work in nightlife, you can't not. She looked like a sad middle-aged woman.
Kesha did.
She really looked like she'd had a lot of work done. Don't blame her. Gonna get it done myself. Can't wait.
Were you at a Madonna concert, or you were watching Kesha open?
It wasn't like a lot of filler. She didn't look pumped. She looked like she had streamlined her face. She looked good. But there was something about her. It was kind of like sad. And she only did like the B-sides, which I thought was weird. I mean, maybe the whole Dr. Luke thing, she can't do I don't understand it.
Yeah.
I left after a while because I was like, I don't know
She didn't have time to get like her Taylor Swift does like her songs as Taylor Swift.
It was
like redoing all of them.
I guess she hasn't gotten around to that yet because of her coke habit. But then I don't want to brag, but her net worth.
You've got it all done with your coke habit.
I looked up her net worth, and it's not dissimilar to mine. That's when you know that someone has a coke habit. Her, not me. Like Lindsay Lohan.
I could have had that Kesha money.
If you look up celebrity net worth, Lindsay Lohan, my celebrity net worth is more than Lindsay Lohan. It's pretty sad. That means she's had some problems along the way because I ain't exactly a celebrity. I ain't exactly, I don't have exactly a net worth, but for whatever reason, they say that I have like 1.5 million and Kesh is like 5 million to give her that. That's good. But you would think Kesh should be like in the 50 million. She should be 50 million.
I feel like that's missing a zero.
Yeah, right. Totally. Yeah. She probably snorted it. But, she looked like she'd gone through the ringer. But anyway, that was the show. The point it was, a friend of mine.
All in all, it was a meh.
All in all, it was a meh. Exactly. But she, the thing that was so great about it was my friend invited me to go into one of those like loge seating things. So you basically go in through a back entrance, you know, and you go up and you just show your ticket twice and you walk into this room and there was like food and catering and alcohol. I'd never done that. I have not been. When I lived in Berlin, I worked at this place called Tempo Drum Furnace every summer, where literally 7 nights a week we had concerts. I always said like we either saw them on their way up or their way down. So one night it would be Courtney Love and Hole on their way up, and the next night it was Simply Red on their way down.
I was gonna say one night it was Courtney Love and Hole, and the next night it was Courtney Love and Hole.
Exactly, basically. It was so I saw everything, and I said to myself when it was done, I'll never fucking go to another concert. Well, I did last night or 2 nights ago because it was the White Lady White Glove experience.
What's funny is that every time I end up in those White Lady experiences, those loges and whatnot, it's a mess.
I love that you mention every time, like it happens all the time. This is my first time. Well, that's why I don't.
Exactly. But they're meh experiences.
Well, the concert.
And I'm like, thank God I'm sitting where I'm sitting. Like I went to a Katy Perry concert when it was still, I think it was called Staples Center. Now it's LA Live, or it was LA Live, and now it's the Staples Center, whatever. I went to a Katy Perry concert. We were about 3 songs in, and I was like, thank God this bar is here. And just got shit canned up in the loge.
Yeah, I didn't take advantage of that aspect of it. I ate too much, which was like unusual. But there's that thing, even though I'm on like, the Manjaro, the jab as we're calling it now, even though I'm on it and I'm pretty happy with it, there's that thing that happens where, there's free food and you just are like, I got to get as much as I can. And then I was eating it so fast because I knew more people were coming and I didn't know who they were and I was afraid they were going to get it was so Pavlovian crazy. Like I ate chips. Like wasn't chewing a chip before the other one dipped in the sauce and I was eating it. And then it was like, oh my God, get a hamburger.
It's like prison eating.
It was crazy. Like and then I was like kind of sick, but then I heard the pizza was coming.
Dr. Z would call that busting the band.
Exactly. And it's like all of that food I could have just not eaten for like $12, but I acted like I was poor and on, SNAP and I needed that food so badly.
Napkin wrapping and throwing it in your bag.
So it was, but anyway, it was all right. But, I've worked with the Scissor Sisters for years. I mean, they were literally the beginning of my career in nightlife. I started and I worked with them and I remember putting them at Joe's Pub with Margarita Prokatan, the Cuban singer. They opened for her.
That's great. What a pairing.
I know. Back then I didn't have quite that.
We've been fortunate though in nightlife to see a lot of these people, as you say, like on their way up, and even more so to be one of their steps on the way up.
Yeah, yeah, totally.
When you work in nightlife, it's kind of incredible. I mean, there's a lot of not talent in nightlife. There's a lot of people that are trying at it, but then there are some people that you see, and we've seen them at some crazy places. I can remember seeing people at the Hole or the Cock or Don Hills or,
Well, that's where the Scissor Sisters were. They started doing the first gig at the Cock, I remember. And then Sweetie got me into them, actually, because she brought them to High Life, Low Life.
I mean, John Cameron's Hedwig and the Angry Inch was basically like a workshop character from Squeezebox.
Yeah, totally. Well, yeah, you're right. A lot of those people have gone on. Bridget Everett was here last week on Fire Island, and she was someone who had started out early on in those days. I've been blessed to watch a lot of them. And some of them have disappeared. Some have burnt out.
And we're still
died.
tastemakers to this day.
Yeah. I'm more tasting now. I let everyone else do the making. I'm just going to taste.
just a taste
because I can't eat that much anymore.
Till we get you into
Ozempic.
Till we get you into a loge and you're afraid it's going to run out.
But who's a great friend and DJs the Underwear Party and I would consider a great tastemaker is Johnny Dynell. He has helped me to build the Underwear Party throughout the years. It's been hard. I had to teach him to dumb down the music
and has a resume of his own that is on and on and on.
Yeah, I just we'll be talking with him in just a little bit. We'll be talking about his song with Storm Large, his history of Jackie 60, a club I only went to once.
Yeah. I never got to go.
Really?
Look at this baby-proof skin.
Oh, please. Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Zismore. Peachy, plump, and what else is going on? And derma rollers.
Well, let's not talk about my beauty any longer. Let's bring in famous DJ Johnny Dynell. All right, you're back at Trigger Warning with Daniel the Can Opener Nardicchio and Adam Meat Hammer Clash.
We're really excited because we have he's actually a really good friend. So this is someone that we can interview. I could literally listen to this guy talk all night. And I have. I love this guy. Johnny Dynell is, besides being a DJ legend, and you know him from Jackie 60 and Mother, all these things.
Milan Fashion Week.
Yeah, he just got back from Naples, I think it was.
Elton John's Oscar after party.
Exactly. The guy is like literally everywhere, DJing all the time. And then it comes out here for a pittance, a mere pit. I pay him pennies on the. No, I'm kidding. I pay him.
Everyone can say that.
Johnny does well. He makes a lot of money. He has a place in New Orleans, the most beautiful house in New Orleans. I love this guy. Before we bring him on, I'm going to say why. Johnny's an elder, like I'm now becoming an elder, who has taught me how to be an elder. And why? Johnny does not tell you how it was better in the past.
Which one of you does it through bifocals?
My whole life is through bifocals at this point. Johnny does not say, everything was better in the past. Johnny literally tells you, a lot of things are the same. Some things were better.
I think that's what I love about Johnny is like you've always stayed current. That's why you're a rockin' ass DJ. That's why you're an amazing friend. Is like what Daniel said. It's not about, you weren't there when, or you're like, tonight is fire. Listen to this new track. Look at all these boys out here. You're always living now.
We're talking about him like he's not dead. But my theory,
I was
like he's not
to
here.
him.
My theory is that it's because Johnny only has a couple glasses of wine. Most people I know go hardcore. But let's bring him to the microphone. You know him, you've heard him, you've been to his parties. If you're even remotely in the know, you've been to his parties. He was with Suzanne Barsh doing parties. Been with us here.
Lady Fag.
Oh my God, Lady Fag.
The list goes on.
We love him so much. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's bring to the microphone Johnny Dynell.
Oh, wow. Well, you know what? I brought a little present for you two.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Talking
cocaine?
about a trigger warning. Because, yes, we go back, both of us.
Johnny taught me how to DJ.
Oh, wow.
Okay, I brought something for both of you.
I love this.
Oh my God! He's reaching in his
Trigger
bag.
warning.
Look at his like.
This is from the wood shop.
Oh
Yeah.
shit!
The night that we got raided.
Oh
at
my
the
God!
wood shop.
That was a legendary night.
Okay.
Legendary night.
Trigger warning.
Oh my God!
Okay.
Looks like a baguette. Oh my God!
It's from So You Think? No, it's from
Yeah.
Oktoberfest.
No,
Yes, yes, it is.
it's Oktoberfest, wasn't it?
Look at you,
Not
Adam,
America's
yes.
Next Top Bottom.
No, it's from October because we had So You Think You Can Suck.
Yes.
Then we had America's Next Top Bottom. This is from Oktoberfest, the night we got raided in
Yes.
October.
Chad,
Exactly.
I will give you $1,000, douchebag Chad, if you can take this. If you can take this, we can be boyfriends.
Well, because we're not on camera, you should explain what it is.
It looks
to
like
your
it's going to be
listeners.
$900 of that 1,000 in lube. It is. It is like it's like my forearm of a black dildo.
You've been going to the gym, but don't be so much. Don't honestly, your form doesn't look like this. I know you've been going to the gym. I thought it was the bar. The way looking at him when he says I go to the gym all the time, I assumed it was the bar on 8th Avenue.
So for
But
the
anyway, I thought that would be a little like walk down memory lane for you guys. The night we got raided at the wood shop.
So for people that don't, as Daniel was saying, you're not in the know. If you haven't been there, hopefully you've been to a Johnny Dynell party. My brother Daniel used to throw these infamous wood shop parties. It was in a triangle building down
On 9th and 14th. Right?
Yeah, down in the meatpacking.
The top floor.
Yeah. And we got raided. Sweetie was at the door. They were like, oh, the cops are downstairs. And you had to take an elevator upstairs. So we were able to hold the cops off for a while.
She knew to put one of her shoes in the door so the elevator wouldn't close because she heard the cops. So they had to come up the stairs.
So while they were coming up the front stairs of the building, I sent Daniel and the boys down the fire escape to get the Playgirl shaggin' wagon. Remember that?
With the money.
With the money. So they went with the money in a trash bag and what they could carry of the booze. I then got my big fur jacket that I was wearing that night. I was naked underneath. And I like rubbed my eyes really hard. And I pulled Sweetie's shoe out once the place looked normal. And I went downstairs in the elevator. And I like circled around in the lobby. And then the cops were there and they didn't even notice me. And I came back around the front and I was like, hey, what's going on, guys? Sorry, I'm waking up. I got some calls that there was some disturbance at the building. I'm the property manager. Can I?
Because you do speak cop. I will say that.
No,
One of the
you
things
were
about
great.
you is you're really good with cops. You have this thing where you're like, I'm Irish and I'm Malio poverty and we can and we can I talk cop and Bob's around. Bob in precinct 425. You do that whole cop thing, so you do talk straight really well.
No, he's like a man. He's
is the operative word.
He's like a man.
As Daniel says, butch in the streets, femme in the sheets.
He's like a man. Yeah, totally.
So we ended up like having the cops come in and they just wanted to write us a couple of tickets for like disturbing the public and we were knocking down. And then Johnny Dynell notices that there's a cop there that he's like, oh, what's going on? What's his
Dominican.
deal? His Dominican guy.
Because you like the flavor.
Well, you know.
Okay. And he was like, you think
And so and they were like, for some reason with these parties, they would always go for the DJ.
Yeah,
I don't know why they thought
because
the
they
DJ
used to take the equipment back in the Michael Ehrlich days.
right.
That was their way of stopping Michael Ehrlich. They used to steal the equipment because it was what cost money.
So the sergeant was like, they wanted my my address and my phone number. And so I looked over at this cop and I was like, can I give him my phone number? And then she was so great. She looks over him is like, Jose, listen, he wants to give you his phone number. Do you want it? And Jose looks over at me and he's like, yeah, I'll take his phone number.
Me gusta, papi.
That was, that was Fort Bruce, though. That was the cops from Christopher Street, I have to say, because those were our cops at Jackie 60.
Yeah.
Which was a legendary club in the meatpacking
meat
district
market,
that Johnny had, which is now a Diane Van Furstenberg store.
Across the
Something
street,
yeah, totally. Something like that, yeah. But Jackie 60, the cops would
They were
literally
great.
protect you.
Those cops were fantastic. They really were.
I mean, Jackie 60 is so fucking legendary that I've got to ask so the listeners can hear it. The origin story. Like, Johnny, do you remember like your first big gig in the city?
My first big.
Like, what's the origin story of Johnny?
I think it's this one.
Yeah.
This
For the
big
studio
dildo.
audience, Daniel's
I
holding the
started
gigantic
DJing at the
dildo.
Mud Club in 1980. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that. Yeah.
But you know what, Johnny? Jackie 60 was a legendary nightlife. Literally, it's up there with Studio 54 and the big things, Danceteria, But, Johnny, can you just tell them why it was called Jackie 60?
No.
The name is so great.
I can't really.
Really, you can't?
No.
Can I?
Because a lot of the people are still alive.
Well, can I give a little?
Let me see.
You can do a bridge version that's not going to incriminate
Okay,
that.
well,
But
okay, all right.
basically, it was a whorehouse.
One night I was at a bar and I met somebody who is Elton John's manager. And he was bombed, and he was Elton John's manager, and he was telling me about how all Elton and Mick Jagger and all these people have this club where they have drag names, and Elton's name was Sharon, and Mick's name was something else, and Rod Stewart was somebody. So all these like rock stars had drag names, and I said to him, I go, I want a drag name. I want to be in the club too. And he looked at me and he goes, all right, you could be Jackie. So I became Jackie. So that's where the Jackie came from.
But the 60
The
is the good
60
part.
is the good part.
And, well,
And
you know,
that's
we
what I
can
can't
edit it
tell
all
you.
out.
Yeah,
It can
I
all be
can.
edited out.
We'll cut it in post. We'll cut it all in post.
We'll cut it in post. Go ahead and give it to us.
Well, there was a very famous dungeon in New York. And, oh, God, I don't know how much I can tell of this, really. It's like,
Dance around it.
Yeah.
Basically, the people had numbers, right? Is that
Right.
how it
If you were a regular slave, a very famous dominatrix, the late Terence Sellers, and she wrote kind of the Bible, two Bibles, The Correct Sadist and The Complete Masochist. And those are like in college library. I mean, those are like the Bibles of S&M. And Terence had a dungeon, and in her dungeon, if you were a real, regular slave, that went through the whole process and everything, you got a number.
Right.
And so she gave me the number 60. And I won't tell you why. Not that I was a slave or anything like that, but I can't really tell the story because, like I said, a lot of the people are still alive.
Right.
So I can't. But
it's so enticing enough.
yeah,
that
the story's great.
I hope
but
you
anyway.
young-
But that's But
It's so much more interesting than me doing The Devil Wears Nada, which basically
Yeah.
just took a movie and a book and said, I'll change one letter.
right.
Yeah.
So basically, Chichi and I have, we met at the Mud Club in 1980, and we
Chichi is Johnny's wife for the
Chichi's
listeners
my
out
lady
there.
wife, and we met in 1980. She was dancing in Times Square at the Melody Burlesque,
And you were at the
and
Gaiety.
I was at the Gaiety, and and we both worked. Chichi worked the door of the Mud Club, and it was my first DJ. So we met, in 1980, and forgot where I was going with this, but
Well, Jackie
so we've been
60.
in the nightclub business since then, and we both, Chichi was a bartender, danceteria, and I was a DJ, and we worked in like all different clubs. So by the time we did Jackie, we kind of brought our whole world together. Everyone from the Ball House, Pier, Queens to the fashion world to the recording stars,
'Cause
everybody.
You knew Michelle Visage, which is now she's a big deal because of Drag Race, right?
Yeah,
totally.
amongst
the extravaganzas.
lots of other
yeah,
people, yeah.
totally. I only mentioned her because
well, I remember Michelle because she was like, she could Vogue. You
told me at one point she's the real deal.
Yeah, she
because
could
she
really
kind of that's her
Vogue,
whole
for
thing
real.
is she's like said that, and then
Yeah.
people were like, "Oh no, really?" But you were like, "No, she's the
Oh
real
no,
deal."
she was like, I remember her on my dance floor with
Yeah.
with all the Ganzas and all the voguing people. She was the little white girl who could really Vogue for real.
Yeah.
I mean, you really had all the stripes and colors of, the
Right.
LGBTQIA plus community before we even called it all of that at your
Right.
parties.
It was just, I mean, because it was our world. We had been, in all these different scenes. And so at Jackie, it all came together in one club, in one room.
Yeah.
And
Must have been marvelous.
I know.
It
I went
was-
once. I
yeah.
only went one night. I wasn't
um,
really going out much back then.
So, yeah, it was like supermodel cat fights. And the thing is, there were no cell phones or anything, and we didn't let cameras in. So whatever happened at Jackie stayed at Jackie,
Yeah.
pretty much.
God, don't you wish the world was still that way?
Yeah.
It kind of is on Fridays, though. People can't really bring their
Well,
phones in.
that's one thing I want to say about the underwear party. I moved to New York in the summer of 75. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's how old I am. And I was, saw the beginnings of disco and the beginnings of clubs and all that stuff.
As a
And-
2-year-old.
Yeah, as a 2-year-old. And I came to Fire Island and I went to the Ice Palace, like in the maybe probably like 76 or something like that. And I was just blown away by the freedom, how great it was out here, you know. And honestly, I've told you this. I really mean this. When I'm in the DJ booth, I get chills. The ghosts, the DJs, the
Roy
legends
Thode,
who
Roy
have-
Thode, the legendary DJ, and
Michael Fesco.
Michael Fesco,
Fesco,
who started,
yeah.
who's a friend of mine. Yeah, totally.
You know, it's just to be in that DJ booth. And when I look out in that room and there's like 1,000 faggots in
Yeah,
jock
totally.
straps, naked,
Yeah.
you know, and the party is just like, I look and it's like, you know what? This could be 1975.
And the photo that we have at the
Yeah.
Ice Palace of all the guys dancing, and that's on one of the windows, the vinyl. You look at it and people go, "Oh God, things were so much better back
No,
then." I was
it's
like,
the
"Come here
same.
on a Friday."
Come on
It's-
Friday night. It's the same.
It's actually more debaucherous on a Friday now because they're not in. They were in jeans and t-shirts back then, and now
Right.
everyone's running around in a jock strap or Chad in some skanky little.
well, he wasn't wearing anything skanky last night.
Oh, I know it's hard. It's hard to get him out
I
of
was
his
like-
clothes.
And I would be remiss to say if I didn't say on the air in this podcast how much Daniel and I appreciate Johnny Dynell bringing a wonderful human being by the name of Austin Derrick
Oh, yeah.
into our
legend.
life.
Yeah. Austin, our sound guy, who made the sound at the Ice Palace.
He is not just a sound guy, he is a sound wizard. He has an
Legend.
obsession. He's a legend. He's
Well, you
built-
know, it's funny when you guys took over the Ice Palace, thank God, you know, and Austin came in and Austin was in the, you know, he's so, you know, Austin is so quiet and shy and everything. He's looking at the wires and everything. He goes like, these are the same wires I put in 30 years ago. It's like,
Exactly.
you know, it's like, that's Austin. It's like, not only did he know that, you know, he had put in those wires.
And he knew the runs. I was
Yeah.
like, Austin, I got to tear these wires
Yeah.
out. He goes, yeah, you do. He goes, it goes up over here, over there. He knew exactly where he mounted them.
Yep.
Yeah, totally. I remember the mountain of wires that he pulled out from that were just dead wires. No, we love Austin. Thank God the sound is much
Well,
better.
he did Jackie 60. He did us, you know,
Oh, I
and we
didn't
didn't
know
have
that.
any money. Yeah, when we started, it was David Morales and I DJing.
the legendary DJ.
Yeah,
David
and
Morales,
Austin and, you know, did the sound, and Derrick Vasquez did
Yeah, Derrick
did our
Vasquez,
lights.
yeah.
And our lights, people don't know this, but the lights at Jackie 60 were from the Paradise Garage. Because we didn't, you know, it's like all these lights. What Derrick did, which was genius, was he just put all these par cans, if you know what they are, and so we didn't have any of those like flat things like that. It was all par cans from the Paradise Garage, and Derrick hooked it up so it was just magic. Really.
For our studio audience that
Yeah.
doesn't understand what a par can is,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
it's a single instrument light that just shines in one direction and it can talk to a lighting board. But you need a genius lighting
Yes.
designer that knows when to turn it on, when it should be orange or red, and you only get one color back
yeah,
then.
yeah. It
You-
was just
You've got thousands of
Right.
It created a lot of heat back then. That was
Yeah.
like a heating element.
Yeah, these were
basically.
light bulbs.
Now,
They were
Yeah.
incandescent.
It would like the club would get so hot from
Yeah.
the car cans. Yeah, totally.
But yeah, it was genius. You know what, we had so much help. Like all our club, you know, my you know, knowing Austin, knowing Derrick, knowing you know, the people like Theater Couture, you know,
Yeah, totally.
and you know, who could bring us people like Sherry Vine.
Oh,
and,
yeah, totally.
You know, and it's just the performances at Jackie were just like over the top. They were
I would literally want to spend so much time talking to you about all of these things because I think it's so interesting for our audience to understand now where we are, the people
Right.
that listen to what we're doing and now, but also know what the history is. I want to do this. I want to have you on more often and talk about these things because we have there's so many stories. Johnny can talk about Madonna, working
no, I
with
can't.
Madonna.
Can I ask Johnny a story before we let him go?
Yeah, sure. Go
And then we'll save it for his next interview. Johnny, how did you get involved with Elton John's after Oscar party?
Oh, let me think. Okay, well, I originally did the Vanity Fair party out there, but
Oh,
I
excuse her.
Oh yeah, hello.
No, but Elton's is so much more fun. Elton's is
It's
so much better.
incredible. Johnny's put me on
You
the.
lived in L.A., so you got to go.
Yeah, I went.
Yeah, you went. That's right. I
all
forgot.
all 4 years I lived in LA, Johnny Dynell put me on the list.
I'm
Right.
so gonna fly to L.A. for that. I'm gonna take Chad and make him like learn to love
Bottom.
Yeah.
So I think it was. I think
Hey, that's what we're doing now. We're fucking the staff, I guess.
Fucking the staff.
We're fucking the staff. I guess that's what we're doing now.
I think it was Ingrid Sishi, who was the editor of Interview. And
I loved her. Yeah.
And I knew Ingrid for, like for years, from college and stuff. And Ingrid hooked me up with, I think it was a birthday party for Elton before the Oscars. It was like and then I think I did their engagement party. And so I was doing.
To him and David, yeah.
Yeah, with David. Yes,
David,
I'm
who's
sorry,
a
yes.
sweetheart, by the way.
Yes, great.
David
the only celebrity adjacent people that has, besides Grant, Alan Cummings' husband, who I've known for years, David has reached out to me and said really nice things.
Yeah, he's a very nice guy.
And it seems to be untouched by this whole like mega celebrity.
Right.
Yeah, like celebrityism doesn't touch David Furnish at all. He's just a normal human
But
being.
I have to say, this their organization is the real deal. David and Elton are in it for, and it's
They're
not
in
just the
they're all-
money. They're like their time and what they do is just like
I think they're near $1 billion in
Yes.
AIDS research.
Yes,
$1
yeah.
billion.
And
Yeah.
you think about it, and you've probably given AIDS to so many people. The work you've done for AIDS, I mean, spreading it.
For AIDS, not against it.
Yeah, you really have given AIDS a fighting chance.
I'm triggered. That's fantastic, Johnny.
well,
it has
so
been,
anyway, I think that's
Well, Johnny, we love you. You know that, right?
yes, and I love you guys too.
Seriously, Johnny, you're
From the wood shop and to like
to the wood shop, to the ice palace.
and probably back to the wood shop someday.
No, to Zippolite.
Well, you know what's so funny?
Zippolite,
I mean,
Mexico.
obviously, I do these fancy things, and I just did a fashion show in a palace in Italy, and it was real palace, bigger than Versailles. And when I was telling people, they're like, "Well, so what are you doing next?" I was like, "Well, let me see. Next, I'll be at the Ice Palace." Going
For
from
the D World underwear party.
Because and last summer I did
Palace to palace.
Right, I did a show at the Doge's Palace in Venice, and then I'm like, yeah, now the Ice Palace.
And then soon you're going to be in Zippolite with us. We're going to hopefully be opening around New Year's.
Can't wait.
Right?
Yeah, we'll be opening around New Year's at Casa Oasis and Temple on the beach.
Yeah, Temple.
So, Johnny, we'd be remiss if we let you go before asking you,
Right.
what triggers you?
Oh God, what triggers me? Snakes.
Oh!
Ugh.
We could talk about snakes for a while, couldn't we, Johnny?
No.
So
You got
Ja-
rattlesnakes in Zippolite.
Yeah, my brother and I are starting.
And I don't want to hear about that.
We're still. Well, you're going to. So sit still. We have this farm that overlooks the oasis, and we have workers up there that have been working diligently to make this beautiful place where we can grow Mexican saffron and corn and squash and beans. But they went on strike recently. Because every time they lifted a tree trunk or flipped a rock, they found a rattlesnake nest.
Mucho rattlesnakes, amigo.
Oh,
Mucho
God.
serpiente. And they took a break, so I had to buy 2 pigs.
Because the beautiful thing down there is that they don't want an exterminator or to kill the rattlesnakes. They're like, you have to get pigs. The pigs disturb the land and the snakes can't bite through their skin, and they have an enzyme where the venom won't kill them. And then you get owls. So
Then
when
where do they go?
Well,
They
so
just go to the
No.
neighbor.
neighbor, I don't care.
No, but then the pigs disturb the land. And then if we have owls, we put up all these owl houses. The owls will eat the rattlesnakes when they've been
good.
disturbed by the pigs. It's this beautiful, it's the circle of life.
Yeah, he's very into the owl thing. I'm not 100% sure. But then again, I've lived next door to him, and I heard a lot of who from his apartment next door.
me?
Who's fucking me? Who gave me that drink that was chalky tasting?
It's just my Metamucil. Well, Johnny Dynell, it's been so wonderful having you on. I
anytime.
hope you know how much we adore you.
Yeah, we really do, Johnny. You've been
It's
You've helped us so much throughout the years.
I'm here.
All right, Johnny, we love you.
That was Johnny Dynell.
We love Johnny. He's the
so
best.
I love that man.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
And he just keeps on keeping on.
Girl, I'm not going to say her
She's
age.
up there.
She's definitely pushing daisies, but I love Johnny.
Dead?
He's pushing
Pushing
daisies.
daisies.
No, he's you know what I love about Johnny? And this is the thing that I'm impressed with him. Johnny's one of those people in nightlife that has a glass of wine or two. I've watched other people disintegrate, myself included, you absolutely. And but Johnny has like a glass of wine, always a bottle of red, two stain, we call it, and he'll have a glass or two. He's not an addict, and that's why Johnny is his age. I'm gonna keep saying his age. That's why Johnny is his age and is still working.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like
I mean,
this-
he's never pushed any of it.
That's why I have to get out of nightlife before it kills me.
Yeah. Because we're here for a good time, not a long time.
I've wanted here for a long time, but not in nightlife.
Yeah, no.
I'm on my way out.
Yeah, no, I want to live forever, but it just won't happen between 9 p.m. and 5 a.m. It's a different kind of 9 to 5.
Exactly.
You know?
I like mornings. You know, it was John Waters' assistant, Susan, who said that she used to say to me, Daniel, you can't soar with the eagles if you're up at night hooting with the owls.
Ooh.
And I kind of love that. It's such an old man phrase,
very
but it's
like-
really true.
yeah.
So I get up in the morning
It's
and
almost
soar with the
indigenous
eagles.
people, isn't it?
Well, I have these two fosters named Mouse and dogs, I should say, named Mouse and Storm. And
Yeah, it is an Oliver twist.
I get them up. I got them up this morning at 6 a.m. and I have to quickly pick them up so they don't piss in the house. I'm trying to train them, take them up to the Ice Palace and sit there and have a nice coffee before anyone walks in. You know, I've got that lovely Chesterfield sofa. I'm laying. Have you seen it yet?
I have not seen
Girl,
it.
she's cunt. She's cunt. I've always wanted the two things in my life that have told me that I had money was a Chesterfield sofa and creme de la mer.
Oh.
I told you I'm white woman. I'm white woman through and through.
Mine was being able to buy more than a $20 bottle of wine and the lights were on.
Right, totally. Yeah. So you bought a bar instead. So
Yeah,
you get a lot of $20 bottles of wine. No,
I was never afraid of the Con Ed bill coming. Do you remember being afraid of like opening your mailbox?
I didn't.
No
I
fear
didn't.
if you
I
just
didn't.
don't.
Girl, I remember having $13 in the bank, and in order to, I would have to go put 7 in
To get 20
to
out.
get 20 out. Those
Those
were bad.
days.
Those were bad days.
Those
Yeah.
days.
But I did Chesterfield and creme de la mer have made me feel like I have money, even though I own property in Mexico and an apartment in New Orleans and 2 bars. I feel like it's the creme de la mer and the Chesterfield sofa. That's what makes
Slather in
me
her
feel like a
face.
rich white woman.
Slathering her wrinkles on her
I just
Chesterfield
lay
sofa.
there. What wrinkles? I lay there in
Very-
the mornings and I just put creme de la mer on while I have my 2 Fosters on my lap, and I just sit there. It's just, girl, no one finds it sexy.
Fucking Norma
that's
Desmond
so
over
unsexy.
here.
Fucking so unsexy. I know it, but you know what? Then at night, or not at night because I would bed at 8, but in the evening I could be sexy.
At sunset.
Yeah, totally. Anyway, that was Johnny Dynell. Speaking of sexy.
I think you just triggered the whole audience, but we should give our trigger warnings and get the hell out of
All
here.
right, you want my trigger warning?
Yeah, what's your trigger warning for the week?
And just like that.
And just like that.
I just cannot with that show. I hate watch it. I got to be honest. I think they should do more seasons. I hate watch it. First of all, it's so heavy-handed. Every tertiary character, look it up, the word tertiary. Every tertiary character is a person of color or non-binary. They're hitting you so over the head. It's like you can't go back and retrofit this show by making it's like the world they live in is a crazy Benetton ad that I just am like, it's too much. But yet, at the same token, all the 4 or now 3 main women are these rich white women. And it's insanity to watch the show. There's the wealth, the insane amount of wealth. This new Seema character is so obnoxious that she's constantly like, I don't do cabs. I only do as driver. And it's like, bitch, like, shut up. Like right now in the world that we're in with people that like literally are losing their health care, I have to listen to this awful woman. Yeah. But I can't not watch it. Like I watched half an episode tonight. I can't wait to watch the rest of it. I'm riveted because
So kind of like rubbernecking.
Miranda is the worst lesbian I've ever met in the world.
You're like rubbernecking.
Yeah.
And just like that.
And I love Cynthia Nixon.
I
And I
guess-
love her husband. Well, it's technically a woman, but
I guess because we talked about nightlife, mine actually my trigger warning ties into your hate watching and just like that. Because my trigger warning is when somebody talks about how great something was. You know, they tell somebody that you just missed it. You know, like, oh, Berlin 10 years ago was amazing. Or New York City. Oh, if you'd been there before 2008, you know, I hate it. I'm like, no, it's amazing now. You're just feeling shitty about it. Like, get with the times. We're so lucky to be alive doing incredible things. Don't think about or tell somebody that's like 24 years old, oh, let me tell you, before AIDS, honey. Well, guess what? We now have one blue pill that cures having or getting or spreading AIDS. So it's amazing now.
Totally.
That's
And
my
look,
trigger warning.
yeah, exactly. I mean, when was the last time that we've thought about condoms? I mean, you know what I mean? Now I
Those
had a
antiques.
party recently and I threw them out and all the kids just backed up and they hit the floor like it was like
Like you're throwing out
like
a cup of
lead
nails.
balloon. Yeah. No, I 100% agree with you. And whenever anyone says to me, like when we took over the Ice Palace, and I remember being at a party and this lesbian said to me, oh my God, you have to bring back, I used to go on a Tuesday night, there'd be 1,000 people. I mean, you have to bring back, it was so much better. I was like, honey, it was not better. You were better.
Yeah.
That was when you were at your best.
Exactly.
And I'm sorry that it's, you know, it's on a Friday night. Johnny Dynell says this. He's like, when you go in there on a Friday night to the Anywhere party, it's exactly like it was 70 years ago, if not more packed and more racy.
Absolutely. Couldn't
So,
agree.
but,
Well, I hope you've been triggered, and I hope you're now warned.
Well, the only reason I want to mention my trigger warning is this about just like that. I want to finish it with a little button and say, I wish that they had just leaned into the fact that they were rich white women who are ignorant. Because it's now this thing that's happening where people are feeling like, oh my God, we've got to be so sensitive to all of these. Not everything has to be for everyone. There should be a show for rich white women or people that aspire to be a rich white woman and can't really aspire to be white, but you know what I mean. I guess Michael Jackson did. But anyway, you could. There should be. It's okay. Not everything has to include everyone. Like I'm doing a men's only. We're doing a men's only. What's it called?
Resort?
Guest house in Mexico. Last resort, really, and in Mexico. And when people say, "Well, it should be open," no, it shouldn't be open to everyone. No, not everything should be. I don't go into a sports bar and say, put on RuPaul's Drag Race.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I walk in and go, this is what they are, and they think this is cool.
I don't walk into the
get
female
it.
locker room and say, boobies.
I walk in and go, put on Georges. It's getting muggy. You know that? It's muggy in here. You know, Georges. Oh
my God.
You don't know Drag Race, do you? She does this whole thing about her mug. It's getting muggy when she's beat to the gods. You don't know any of this?
No, I know the phraseology. I don't watch the show.
She's beat to the gods.
I could hate watch it, though.
Oh, I fucking love Drag Race. I really do. Even when it's bad, it's better than Dharma and Greg.
Oh, I'm just going, where did that come from, Dharma?
It's
and
always
Greg?
my go-to bad show.
That's
It's a really bad show.
Yeah.
A really bad show.
But things were so much better then.
Yeah, so much better than I was not better
You
than.
just missed it.
But I had the same thing when I moved to Berlin. I should have been there right before the wall came down. When I moved to San Francisco, I should have been there. This is basically exactly what you just said, but I'm going to reiterate it because my voice is a little better. And no. And then you moved to
We'll
New
fix it
York,
in
and it was
post.
better. Exactly, we'll fix my voice in post. It was anyway. Long story short, I agree 100% with you. That triggers me, and people deciding that everything has to be for everyone is ridiculous. It's okay. I don't. Well, anyway, we finished this. I'm done. Thank you very much.
Go ahead, say goodbye to the kids. Thanks so much. We'll see you next week.
Thank you, guys.
Trigger Warning, hosted by Daniel Nardicio and Adam Meathammer Klesch, is a Pride House Media production and produced by Josh Rosenzweig. Please note the views reflected in this podcast do not represent the views of Red Eye, the Ice Palace, or any of its subsidiaries. And any reference to scat, shrimping, upper deckers, skanks, masturbating, rump riding, wolf bagging, Cleveland steamers, jiggly puffing, rusty trombones, Cosby sweaters, Mexican pancakes, and Alabama hot pockets are the views of Mr. Nardicio, Mr. Klesch, and his listeners, not the establishment. If you are offended, please seek immediate psychiatric attention.
If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. And while you're there, leave us a rating and review. It really helps others discover the show. And if you didn't enjoy this episode, don't tell anyone.
Stay connected and join the conversation by following us on Trigger Warning Podcast.
And you can send us your questions or hate mail to triggered@triggerwarning.com.